Keeping kids' attention can be difficult, especially during stretches. Kids can get easily restless with stretches. They have to do it week in, week out. So the routine of it can make it kind of boring, especially if you don't do it too well or if you're not engaging them enough. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about a trick that I've been trying recently, which works with even the most restless kids. It's really easy, it's simple, and you can use it not just for stretches, but for other parts of the lesson, which I'll go into at the end. Firstly, your voice is the most important tool you have in coaching. Depending on how you use it can determine how successful a lesson is, genuinely. For this reason, you need to adjust your voice appropriately, and there's a number of factors that we've got to look at. The first one is the environment in which you're in. So if you're in a large space, or if you're somewhere that has a lot of excess noise, you might be outside, then you're going to have to compensate for that by projecting your voice louder and being more assertive with your voice. You need to think about the size of your class as well. If you've got a small one, then you can get away with talking more casually. But if you've got a large group, then you need to make sure they're all facing you and that they can all hear really well. Another really important thing is the temperament of the class. If you've got kids which were really quiet and will just get on with things, then again, you can get away with being more casual. You can get away with being more conversational. But if there's kids who are messing about or even being violent or disruptive or something like that, then you're going to have to be more assertive and you're going to have to use that tool to make sure that they are safe and no one gets hurt. So you've just finished doing a pulse raiser, you've got their heart rate up, they're all moving around, they might be out of breath slightly, and we want to move on to some stretches. I always do dynamic stretches when I'm starting a session. I feel like you want to keep moving the body, keep moving the limbs, get things working, get things going for the session. I'm not really a fan of static stretches to begin with. I usually save those for the end with the cool down. Now the trick that I use is to go about doing my stretches. So usually I would go from head to toe or toe to head. It's just a really easy thing to remember. But I'm going to tell them beforehand that I'm going to use certain words within my sentences. And if I use those words, then they have to react appropriately. There are loads of ways you can do this and loads of things you can use, but to start with, you could use objects. So in your gym or outdoor environment, there's going to be walls, vaults, bars, mats, all of these things. And what you can do is while you're telling them how to stretch, you can just throw in these little words of objects within those sentences. As soon as you say those words, and they'll be listening out for them, then they've got to run and go and touch that object. So I could say, stretch your neck to the side, and stretch the other way, and vault the other way. And as soon as I said the word vault, they have to run over, go and touch the vault, and then come back. You can also use colours. So while you're telling them what part of the body to stretch, you can just slip in different colours, and they've got to run around desperately trying to find something of that colour. So blue, red, black, whatever it is in your environment. Lastly, you could use materials as well. So you could use wood, metal, plastic, for example. As you get more confident with this, you can start to integrate things like wordplay and questions. So for example, you could say, plant your feet together. And if you're outdoors, then they have to run over to a plant. You could say things like step back. So it's kind of very similar. You could say, turn your head and look white over there. And then have to run and touch something that's white. You could ask them questions like, what part of the foot do we land on? And they say, the ball of the foot. And you can say, no, it's the wall of the foot. And they've got to go and run over to a wall. What I love about this little trick is that it keeps them engaged and entertained, rather than just bored. Because they're waiting for me to say something within the sentence, they are anticipating something. So it creates an atmosphere of excitement. And it means that stretches don't have to just be something routine. If the kids are really noisy, then it's also great because it means that they have to listen to what I say so they don't miss the hidden word. While I've only talked about it for stretches and the warm-up stage, you can actually progress this to the rest of the lesson. So you could be doing a station and just with the slip of the tongue, you can basically make them move somewhere else or run quickly over and touch something else. You can make it as complicated as you like. I've just given you some very simple, quite corny examples. You can throw in exercises, positions, as long as they understand that they are the hidden words, then it's going to work. So give it a try, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I'll be really interested to see if anyone uses it, especially with difficult kids in very noisy sessions. I'm always trying to find ways of trying to sort out these restless situations because they can really be disruptive to a session. So little things like this are a win for me, and they have helped me in my sessions. So I hope they help you too. Subscribe if you want to see more videos, and I will see you on the next one.